gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation. I kept a family secret a secret for a long time because I just didn't think it was relevant to anything. However, in light of what I have recently found out about my father, I think it's relevant. And I want to share with you, because this is important to me, because my dad chose my youngest brother, Jeremy, who was the worst lawyer in the family, is the least communicator. I will go ahead and say this, out of all of my siblings, out of my 11 children, my dad, there's only one with a seriously flawed character, and it's Jeremy. And I always thought to myself, what's the fascination with my dad with Jeremy when Deters, Benziger, and Lavelle wanted to fire him because he was the least productive attorney? He took Jeremy's side when Jeremy stole the Kenton County School Board from my brother Jed. And no matter what information that comes forward, he supports Jed. What is this bond? Well, now I know why. I want to stress to you that I can't give you the exact year. I can't give you the exact month. I only know that it was at nighttime. And I think it was during the week. But I'll never forget it. Greenfield Farm is this farm that we have over in Boone County off 25. It's owned by a collective group of people, and I was one of them at the time. And when we were young, it was a place to where you could go parking. One night I was driving home and I noticed some lights in a car pulled into the driveway off the field off 25. And I pulled in there. I was just curious. I said, I wonder who this is. And I went up to the car and the lights came on in the car. Like somebody opened the door or something, so the lights came on. And my brother Jeremy was in the front seat of this car. I don't even know whose car it was. I forget even what kind of car it was. Was in the front seat of this car, naked, with another young man. I didn't recognize the guy. I couldn't even tell you what the guy looked like after all these years. And I just simply left. I was like, oh my God. I would be in my late 20s probably. Jeremy's 10 years younger than me, so I don't know how old he might have been. And do you know something? I never said a word about that to anybody. I just figured, well, if Jeremy's gay, he's gay. And we all know we don't care about people being gay. However, I think about the torment, living the lie that my dad lives, being married and having 11 children like he's Mr. Super Dad. By the way, about my dad, 90 years old, and he's never told one of his children a single time, or his grandchildren, I'm very confident of, one time that he's loved them and he's been proud, or he's proud of them. Not one single time. My counselor says that when you open up somebody's cupboard, when they do that, it's either empty or there's snakes. Obviously, there's snakes in Dad's and Jeremy's world. I mean, you're living a secret. Jeremy's married. You're living that kind of a secret. Just think what that does to you. Now, there's some more I want to share with you about Jeremy. Those of you that live in Independence know Dave Meenick and the Meenick family. I would say that Dave Meenick is one of those guys who has no enemies. There isn't a nicer human being on the face of the earth as Dave Meenick. Dave Meenick came to me with the Snappy Tomato Pizza deal. We bought the Snappy Tomato Pizza Company because Dave Meenick, who I was his lawyer, brought it to me and said, Eric, do you all think you'd be interested in this? And we engineered that. Dave Meanick and I were like this. We still are. Dave Meanick. My dad and Jeremy forced Dave Meanick out of the company and did so in such a terrible fashion, Dave Meanick cannot stand to look at, be near, or see Jeremy's face. So I asked all of you who live in Independence in southern Kenton County, how bad of a person do you have to be for Dave Meanick to hate you? All right, all you in the legal community, all you lawyers out there, can you think of a nicer, more well-respected lawyer than Mark Arnson? Can you think of somebody like Mark Arnson? My dad and Jeremy hired Mark Arnson to do legal work for Snappy Tomato Pizza Company. He sent them a bill for $40,000+, and for 2 years, Jeremy ignored the calls, ignored the emails, just ignored him. Didn't pay the bill and just ignored him. Mark finally called me and said, Harry, can you do something about it? I contacted my dad. My dad promised he'd do something about it. Never did. I felt so guilty, I paid the bill for Mark. Now, when I sued my dad, one lawyer called Mark up and says, hey, you're mentioning this lawsuit. Is that true? And Mark said, yep, that's absolutely true. And this lawyer's an enemy of mine. And he said, well, that's the only thing I believe in that lawsuit then. You believe that? And then I think about what he did to my brother Jed. Those of you in Independence community, those of you, the city of Independence. Oh, by the way, that's everything that cracks me up. They got this highway named for Jed. The state senator and the reps did this. And my dad was all, like, this is great, Memorial Highway named for Jed. Do you know that my brother Jed was scared of my dad so bad, was mistreated by my dad so bad, that he didn't want to be left alone the last 6 months of his life while he was battling cancer out of fear of my father? Jeremy was going to get fired from Deters, Benzer, and Lavelle. Jed represented the Kenton County School Board. Jed leaves Deters, Benzer, and Lavelle, takes Jeremy with him to help him, and then in the dark of night, so to speak, without any call, leaves the firm, leaves Jed, and steals the Kenton County School Board. Hey, Carl Wicklin, my friend, I understand that Jed just didn't want to fight for it or do anything about it. But that caused Jed's blood pressure to go up. What does high blood pressure do? It can cause kidney cancer. Jed died of kidney cancer. But it cracks me up. Dad wants this outwardly, Memorial Highway named for Jed, when in reality, all he did was mistreat Jed. It's sick. It's just unbelievable. Jeremy, here's something. When Jeremy wasn't communicating with me, I'd email, I'd call him, and all these freaking things. So I sent an email to Jed's wife, Sherry. I said, man, what's going on with this? Blah, blah, blah. Do you have this problem? This was in 2015. That was a big problem. Jed said when they moved to the office on Turfway, Jeremy hadn't even opened the boxes with his files in them for at least 3 months. His voicemail was full, over 1,000 emails unanswered, judges' secretaries leaving messages regarding things that were past due. He was being told that Jeremy was at Deter's company, but Deter's company was calling the office looking for him because they hadn't seen him. We've had people call our home to leave message for him because he doesn't respond. I don't get it. And I really don't see me forgiving him, as he never apologized to Jed, even knowing, though, Jed was not going to make it. That is unforgivable to me. Whatever their differences, especially as much as Jed did to help him, Jed did not deserve the kick in the face that he got, and he was heartbroken over it to his last day. That's the character of Jeremy Deters, the married gay guy with his deep, dark secrets. There's more deep, dark secrets that I'm getting confirmation about, which I'm going to come forward about him too. Now, you all might say, God, why are you blowing up your brother like this? Why are you blowing? Because him and my father tried to steal my stock in the company and didn't ambush me and wasn't going to give me a deed to the house when it was halfway built. That's why I make no. See, I don't give these false baloney deals like, well, why are you doing that? For revenge. I'm being vindictive. But you know what I'm also doing it is? A public service. The world needs to know what Jeremy and Dad are and the type of people they are. So you steer away from them. It's not good. I mean, my God. Do you believe? I mean, it's unfreaking believable. Now remember, he wouldn't respond to my texts. So I tried to go see him. And he saw me coming one day at the barn, and he ran in and locked the door. And it wouldn't let me in. And then he threatened to call the police from his phone while I was on the other side of the door. What are you going to do, Eric? Can we call the police? I should have went through the door and beat his ass and let the police come. I'd probably been gone by the time they got there. I mean, isn't that the way brothers, you know, who would take that from their little brother? Not responding to them, so you're trying to go get your deed and talk to them. And then, oh, by the way, this is funny. I got to tell you funny. There is some humor in this. I knew Jeremy was the laziest person on the face of the earth. So I hired the guys to go watch Jeremy. So they went and watched Jeremy and surveilled Jeremy. And they weren't very good at it because they got busted like right off the bat surveilling Jeremy. Jeremy started calling the police like, well, they're following me. And we told the police, hey, we're allowed to follow Jeremy. Ain't nothing he do about it. For a week, Jeremy would leave his house at like 9 or 9:30. Get to the office, he'd be home by 4. I mean, Jeremy doesn't work at all. He gets paid from the Deters company. He gets paid by the Kenton County School Board, and he's part of DFW. But he doesn't do a damn thing. He's the laziest little shit in the world. But we followed him for a week, and it was hilarious. Finally, the chief of police said, yep. Oh, his wife. I went to his house. I didn't even go to the door. I just took a picture of me in front of the house to send it to him. And by the way, I said, Jeremy, I'm not going to physically harm you. I just want to confront you. And I sent it to Jeremy outside his house. His wife called the Crescent Springs police and said I was at the door, which was total lie. It was funny. The police came, and Chuck and me and Joe Rudder are sitting there, and the police came up, and he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to find my brother, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, we got to call you at the door. I said, I wasn't at the door. I said, I'm just trying to find my brother. Oh, okay. And we left. Well, they knew who I was. One of them was clearly Bulldog Nation. They said, okay, Bulldog, it's fine. Jeremy acted like he was above the law. I've gotten too windy on this. But I just give you some context. I'm calling on the Kenton County School Board to fire DF Law and Jeremy Deters. I can tell you right now, Bulldog Nation is going to send an army to your next school board meeting. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Jeremy, you're a turd.